So I think what people take away from the net worth statement is um, they've diversified too much, especially business owners. We've been taught to diversify. Diversification is a hedging strategy. It's not a wealth building strategy. Okay, so understand that. Wealthy people don't get wealthy by diversifying. They get wealthy first, then they diversify to protect their wealth and maintain their wealth. What's up, the Tactical Empire? It is Shawn coming to you solo today. I wanted to do a quick follow-up. Jeff and I launched and wrapped up our Financial Foundations course. This was a hybrid virtual live and virtual coursework done by the clientele that signed up for the course. We did a pre-course podcast episode on it, kind of outline the purpose and what we're going to talk about. This is kind of just a follow-up on the impact that course has already had on the attendees. We had a really good live session both on Monday and Friday. Monday was it wasn't an educational session, so to speak. It was a set the tone session. And then we opened the floor to the people that jumped on the live Zoom to talk about what they were wanting to get out of the course and their current financial situations. And almost immediately, well, I will say immediately, 24 hours after that, when they got access to the first module and they did the work, which was simply looking at bank statements and tracking money inflow and money outflow, regardless if that outflow is going to expenses or investments, we immediately got reached out by the people in the coursework. And to say that it was very eye-opening for them is an understatement. People realized that they're just spending way too money, that they didn't realize how much was going away from them. They realized very quickly that they don't have as much control over their financial situation as they thought. Now we do know that they control their financial situation, of course, but they were under the impression that they were financially stable in regards to the actions that they've taken. But your bank statements will show you your actions. Okay. Don't tell me what you think you spend money on. Show me, and I will tell you where your priorities lie. For example, and this is not the first time I've seen this with guys that come into the inner circle, and we do the same audit with them. From people particularly that own businesses and are not home a good chunk of the day, it's very easy for them to just continually eat out. And I don't inherently have a problem with that or door dashing meals. But when you're looking at $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 a month on food that you literally put into your mouth and then you shit it out the back end, that is a lot of money. That is a mortgage payment or more for a lot of people. And when you're a business owner and you're talking about how to, increase your profit by 5%, if your profit is $20,000 a month, you can simply increase your profit by cutting back on eating out. I know it's simple to say it's a write-off or whatever, but like I just cooked breakfast before I recorded this podcast. To cook it and eat it took me less than 10 minutes. Okay. It probably cost me less than $3. It was a bagel with some butter, 2 pieces of bacon that were already made, and 4 dippy eggs. Okay. For those of you that aren't from Pennsylvania, dippy eggs are over easy, I believe. I call them dippy eggs, not dicky eggs, dippy eggs. Okay. Then they went into the next module on the next day and they did their net worth statement. And this is a love-hate relationship with net worth statements. We don't have our people do them to prove their net worth, so to speak. It is to prove where they have money tied up. This module was actually net worth and liquidity. So what we were looking at was, where are your assets? What liabilities do you have? And then what access to capital do you have, whether that's your money or other people's money? So let's, for example, we talk about 401ks on this show, and it's like 401ks are an asset to you, but they're not very liquid. They can be liquid. I mean, you can distribute them really quickly, but not without paying taxes and penalties, right? So they're not fully liquid in regards to how much money you have in there. So is that really, if you have $1 million in a 401k, but it's going to be taxed at 25% and penalized at 10%, that's 35% gone. So, 350,000 of that million actually isn't net worth. You're going to be penalized and taxed on it. And then other things like 529 plans, $10,000 in them, but they're only used for one thing. They're not as liquid again as you think. And are they a true asset to you? And what we ask is like, are these financial tools moving you closer or farther away from your goals? Dormant 401ks, guys that have $100,000 in a 401k, but they're no longer contributing to it. So it's going to sit there for what, 30 years at 8%. And then you're going to like, why don't we just call a spade, pay our taxes, pay our penalty, and put that money to work? Especially if you're a business owner and you have a high amount of reward if you reinvest that money into something that you're skillful at, as opposed to putting it in the stock market. So I think what people take away from the net worth statement is they've diversified too much, especially business owners. We've been taught to diversify. Diversification is a hedging strategy. It's not a wealth building strategy. Okay. So understand that. Wealthy people don't get wealthy by diversifying. They get wealthy first, then they diversify to protect their wealth and maintain their wealth. Okay. So when we have 529 plans, we have 401ks, we have a Roth IRA, we have open brokerage accounts, we have an HSA, we have some maybe life insurance, and we have emergency funds and a checking account paying us nothing, right? You have your money spread out on too many different things. So for business owners, I like the barbell strategy. Super conservative on the left side, high early cash value life insurance, and then risky yet controlled businesses on the right side, or real estate investments on the right side. I don't want anything in between in my life, to be honest with you. So those were some big takeaways. And then ultimately we did talk about debt and debt strategy. We talked about the cash flow index. Take the principal balance that you have left, or the outstanding balance that you have left, divided by the minimum monthly payment. Anything under 50 is an inefficient loan. If you have the capital, pay it off, pay it off. Anything between 51 and 99 is something that you may want to consolidate or restructure, refinance. And then anything over 100 is an efficient debt. We do not pay off efficient debts. Your mortgage payments are usually very efficient debts. 30-year fixed rate mortgages are the best financial tool ever created from a debt perspective, because the interest rate is fixed, you know the cost, and then the payment is fixed. And so as inflation occurs, which it will occur every single year, the value of your dollars decrease. So you're using future devalued dollars to pay the same amount as you did in previous years. All right. So this is not a one-time course. If you want access to the course, it's still available for $17. We threw our Monday recording into the course after the fact. So you do have access to what we talked about on the Monday live session, even if you buy the course afterwards. So if you want that, reach out to Jeff and I, Jeff at thetacticalempire.com, or find him on Instagram, or Shawn, SHAWN, at thetacticalempire.com. Find me on Instagram. Have a great day.